Greetings, Masters. Today I will be debriefing you on the servant known as Leonardo da Vinci. In life, Leonardo da Vinci was regarded as the prime exemplar of the universal genius, or Renaissance man, an individual of unquenchable curiosity and feverishly inventive imagination, whose areas of interest included invention, painting, sculpting, architecture, science, music, mathematics, engineering, literature, anatomy, geology, astronomy, botany, writing, history, and cartography. Whew. He has been variously called the father of paleontology, iconology, and architecture, and is widely considered one of the greatest painters of all times, credited with the inventions of the parachute, helicopter, and tank. He epitomized the Renaissance humanist ideal. Gender bent and cast into the fray by the throne of heroes, she is now a 5-star caster. At level 90, Da Vinci comes with 10,598 attack and 14,259 hit points. One of the interesting things about the 5-star category is that a large portion of them have the exact same max hit points of 14,259. This includes Merlin, Waver, Tamamo, Anastasia, as well as Da Vinci, all tied for second place. In terms of max attack, Da Vinci is in the middle of the pack. A typical caster deck of one quick 3 arts and a single buster deck allows for Art's Brave Chains without the inclusion of her Art's Noble Phantasm. Her deck comes with 4 hits on the single quick, 3 hits on the 3 arts cards, 1 hit on her buster card, and 4 hits on her extra attack. NP gain of 0.54% means that she will be gaining a very good amount of NP just off of her normal attacks, having 3 hits on her arts cards. A star weight of 50 and a star rate of 10.8 is about average for her class, but you are not using her to create stars anyways. Her skills are very greedy in terms of buffs, focusing only on herself. Inherent Wisdom EX, 85% chance to increase defense for 3 turns, as well as an 85% chance to increase NP strength for 1 turn. This will also apply a one-shot Guts that lasts for 3 turns. It's a good thing that a certain Pharaoh was released recently who increases chance-based buffs. The defense and Noble Phantasm damage supplied by this buff range from 20% at rank 1 all the way up to 30% at rank 10. The Guts goes from 1k hit points on revival up to 3k and has a cooldown of 7 turns. This is a very solid skill that has the potential to increase both her bulk as well as her attack. Even in the worst case, you still get a survivability boost out of this in the form of the 3-turn Guts. Let's take a look at Golden Rule Body B. Now, you might be used to normal Golden Rule. Well, this isn't that at all. This applies Nullify debuff for 2 turns, restores hit points per turn for 3 turns, 500 at rank 1 all the way up to 1000 at rank 10, and increases the Noble Phantasm gauge per turn for 3 turns, 10% flat across the board. So not only does this further increase her bulk, this also gives you 30% NP gauge spread out over 3 turns and can protect you from detrimental debuffs. While this skill does pack a lot of punch into it, the payoffs for skilling this up are very minimal, only reducing the 8-turn cooldown and adding another 1500 hit points over 3 turns. That's not to say that this skill is bad by any means. Her 3rd skill, Pioneer of the Stars EX, if you are familiar with Francis Drake or Nikola Tesla, you are already familiar with what this skill brings to the table. Increase NP gauge, apply Ignore Invincibility for 3 turns, and create critical stars. The big part of this skill is the instant NP gauge increase. Ranging from 30% to 50% when max, this allows you to pop off an instant NP with just a 50% starting NP gauge CE, be that Halloween Princess, Golden Sumo, or the plethora of other CEs that increase your starting NP gauge. You do get a flat 10 critical stars across the board, so this is also good if you want to toss out some stars for a potential arts crits. This is going to be your priority skill, followed by either the 1st or the 2nd skill. I personally will lean heavier towards leveling the 1st skill over the 2nd skill, going Pioneer, Inherent Wisdom, and then Golden Rule. For her passives, she does come with Territory Creation A, which increases her arts card's effectiveness by 10%, allowing for more damage on her NP as well as increasing those 3 arts cards in her deck. She also comes with Item Construction A, which increases her debuff success rate by 10%. Moving on to her Noble Phantasm, the Omnipotent Human. This is going to increase NP damage right out of the gate on Overcharge. This means at Overcharge 1, you're getting 30% all the way up to 70% at Overcharge 5. This does deal heavy damage, ignoring all defense to all enemies at 450% to 750% damage based on your Noble Phantasm level. But that's not all. It also decreases their critical rate by 10% for 3 turns. This will later get an upgrade, bumping the damage up, adding 150% damage across the board to the AoE damage. So when you couple this with her first skill, you have a very, very solid Noble Phantasm damage increase. When it comes to Ascension materials, she is fairly reasonable for a 5-star, 8 gears, 8 plumes, 6 spirit roots, and 5 scarabs. This is not a tall order by any means. Skills, however, are going to be a little bit more steep: 12 plumes, 15 gears, 24 pages, as well as 15 beast grease. So skills are going to be a bit on the pricey side to raise, that's for sure. Now, Masters, let's talk about CEs. You have 2 options here. Per the norm, you can either go with starting NP gauge or you can boost arts performance. If you want to go starting NP gauge, Halloween Princess, Little Halloween Devil, and Imaginary Element will be your go-tos. If you are looking to boost your arts performance, Formal Craft or Projection will be the CEs that you want to target. Team-wise, Da Vinci is best suited in an arts team with the likes of Tamamo or Mozart for arts support. If you are planning on using her for farming, teaming her up with a Tamamo and a Nitocris would make for a very, very easy wave clearing team. Overall, Da Vinci is a very solid damage-focused AoE arts servant. She has great survivability as well as fantastic NP gain through both her NP charge skills as well as her 3 arts cards. She does have a very selfish kit and does have the downside of being a caster, and that comes with a 0.9 multiplier on all of her damage, so you will likely only bring her when you need to clear waves of assassins or berserkers where you have the damage advantage. Her first skill, which is one of her strongest buffs, is RNG based. Sure, it's 85%, which isn't too bad, but it is still a chance. Yes, this can be negated by running Ozzy, but you would have to have an Ozzy and want to run an Ozzy on that team to make this 100%. So if you are lucky enough to get Da Vinci, she is a strong caster. However, unless you are a limited servant collector or you are lacking that offensive arts-based caster, I personally feel that your quartz would be much better spent on future banners as well as other servants. So overall, do I think that you should roll on Da Vinci? I personally think that during the Summerfest, you should roll on the singularity that you are most looking to get servants out of. That way, if you do get Da Vinci, fantastic. If you don't, you still have a chance at some of these other servants that you are looking for. Personally, I will be rolling on the America banner depending on what I get out of the guaranteed gacha. So I hope that this has given you a good idea of who Da Vinci is as a servant, and I hope that this has helped you Masters out. I would like to take this moment to thank all of the Patreons that help make this channel possible. You guys are the real Renaissance humanist ideals. If you would like to help out the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification, drop me a like and a comment, and I will debrief you next time, Masters. Take care. Peace.